Hi again. Just a sudden thought before we sort of dismiss this subject. Maybe I'll be even more adventurous, okay, and give it a second go. As I'm often recommending is whenever you do a subject, sometimes it's well worth doing it several times and pushing it the boundaries, as it were, or the boundaries of creativity each time you do it. You will learn a lot more by repeating the same exercise, but as I say, just trying it a little bit harder on the creative side. Anyway, I'll give it a go in a moment, and we'll see what the end result is, okay? Okay, so very quickly, just do a quick sketch. Just enough to plant things. As I said a moment ago, I'm going to do this quite quickly. Try and work even more freely with it. Apply the paint quickly, stronger. So what I'm trying to do here now is to apply the watercolour a lot stronger. Okay, and just see what happens. So I've got no preconceptions about it. I'm just simply going to go for it. I've got the colours mixed here, and plenty of courage. I'll wet the paper quite a bit so that the colours will run. I won't go listing the colours because they're pretty much as I was using before. I'll go for another brush, go for a wider one. Now at this point you must keep telling yourself that you're experimenting, you're just working in a very creative way. Because it's warm in my studio, I'm going to wet the paper. If it's picked up a colour there, I'll leave that, ignore that, there we go. Right, yes, the next stage is when to apply the paint. It won't be too long before I apply it. That it there is because it's picked up colour off this brush here. Okay. Right, so if I take a chance and go for the first colour I'll go for is the ultramarine blue. I'm going to put it in quite strong. Because remember, I'm taking chances here, so I want to go stronger. It's drying quite quickly, so now I go for this orange. I mixed. While I'm also there, I've got some raw umber. It's going to be a bit like the orange. So I'm going to leave the sky. I can take it down into this area, may as well. I got a lightish green mixed here, so into that area. Then I can work on the whole thing again in a little while. Maybe go for a stronger green in here where the trees are going to go. So I'm happy there. As I keep reminding, you are just applying the paint and really just seeing what happens. Following your instinct. I go back to this orange, I'll introduce it in the foreground. Good. I'll leave that for the moment to dry up a little bit. So once again, I've dried it off a little bit. I want to come in with quite strong colour. So this is the old house. Yes, we know there's a roof there. I'll come and tweak in a little while. Then we can come to maybe the tree area again. I take the big brush again. I want to go quite dark with the green in there. I don't want it to be too much like the first one. There we go. So I'm not attempting here to replicate the first painting. I want to keep things quite dark or stronger. Maybe come in with a different colour. So if I come in maybe with some cadmium yellow. Looks quite nice, so maybe I'll repeat that here. So I'm picking up the cadmium, I beg your pardon, it's the lemon yellow, you see. Lemon yellow looks quite nice, so maybe I'll repeat that. It is the lemon yellow, not the cadmium. Put some trees in the background there. As I keep saying, I'm not trying to replicate as the first one. I want to keep the colours nice and strong on this one, so what I'll do now is I'll invent some shadows here. So I'm going for a strong green. I'm using the Hooker's green, and to make it go stronger, if I put in there some ultramarine blue. So I want a good contrast. Then I can take that up possibly now. Hooker's green again, and to the bottom part of the tree, or the trees. So I like that contrast. I've got to keep reminding myself here to do it differently from the first version. And I come back to that middle ground here, being brave again, stamp that up. So as you can see, I'm taking more chances with this one. Now I can possibly leave this for a few minutes and then come back in. I didn't fiddle with the sky, but I'm happy with it. I wonder if I dare take a little bit of a chance and come in maybe with some green. Because it's dry, so I very quickly, again, it's just playing around. There we go. So maybe I'll repeat it here. Okay. Leave that. So I've got decisions to make now. I can tweak things here, or I can simply take a twig or something and do a little bit more detail work. But you see how quickly I did that. It's having the courage, being brave. I did make a decision there to go stronger with the colours, as you can see, tonally. Now you get a good contrast between the lights and the darks. If I take a smaller brush, or pointed brush I should say. Again, I'm going straight to the pan now for the darkest colour, which is again the Hooker's, yes, this is the Hooker's green. And I'm just picking out some areas again here. The house I'd probably get away with, I don't need to do anything, just suggestion. I'm going to leave that now, because I wanted this to be a simple exercise. And then I'll come back in a moment with maybe the twig and just do a little bit of more tweaking. I'm inclined to leave it at this. I want it to be purely an exercise in what you can achieve if you're brave. I don't need to come back and do anything further with the house. So once again, with the twig and ink, I'm merely trying to create just a touch more interest. But I'd be quite happy to leave that. So what I'm trying to get across to you here is, you do need to be brave, have courage, don't be afraid to experiment. But if you do it this way, you've got to doubly ensure that you get the strength for the colour very strong. Because as you know, it does weaken as it dries. I think the reason I do a lot of twig or pen and ink is because I do actually like it. It does add something to a piece of work. I suppose the thing is, don't overdo it. You don't want it to detract too much. I think I'm going to leave this exercise now because I've achieved what it was I wanted to set out to do. I zoom in a little bit so you can see how almost abstract this is, but as a whole it works. So I think I'll quit this one while I'm ahead, but you see how free, how loose, how spontaneous I worked at that, and the result I'm quite happy with. It's as simple as that, he says. One thing I almost forgot, of course, is the mount. Put the mount on top. I'll put it on the easel in a moment so you can have a better look at it. Zoom in a little bit. I'll put it on the easel. Let's have another look. So I've got it on the easel now, and I don't think I spent no more than about 5, 7, possibly no more than 8 minutes doing the whole thing. So in just 8 minutes, it's amazing what you can achieve. Here we go, with the mount around it. So do have a go, be brave, limited palette, keep those colours nice and strong, and have a go. See you next time. Bye for now.